Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay-Z too, I really admire the both of them.
Educated gangster rapper, that's all she could come up with.
Gene, the internet is in meltdown over whispers that could blow the lid off the most guarded dynasty in pop culture. Rumor has it Beyonce is shattered after court docs allegedly revealed that Kelly Rowland's son Titan isn't who everyone thought he was. The shocking claim? That Titan is actually Jay-Z's biological child. If this turns out true, we're not just talking about a scandal. This is betrayal on a level that could tear apart everything. Childhood bonds? Gone. The sisterhood of Destiny's Child? Shaken to its core. Beyonce's image as the flawless queen, untouchable and unbothered, could crack wide open. One hidden truth like this has the power to flip 2 decades of music history, friendships, and even her love story with Jay-Z upside down. Just picture it. Beyonce, the woman who built an empire on loyalty, power, and unshakable control, suddenly blindsided. She already forgave Jay-Z for messy affairs and public heartbreaks. But this? The possibility that her ride-or-die best friend, the woman she calls sister, secretly had a child with her husband? That's betrayal on a whole new level. This isn't just scandal, it's devastation. Word is Beyonce is spiraling, feeling like the walls of her private empire are collapsing around her. Court papers, the kind insiders claim were never meant to see daylight, have allegedly resurfaced and lit the internet on fire.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
The leaks, screenshots, fragments, whispers, all pointing to one haunting claim: that Titan's true parentage may have been the family's most dangerous secret all along. And here's the twist. Even if those documents aren't 100% authentic, the damage is already done. Just the suggestion alone slices into Beyonce's spotless, carefully polished image. Her entire brand thrives on perfection and control, but this rumor plants doubt in places no PR team can reach. The internet wasted no time turning detective mode on. Side-by-side photos of Titan and Jay-Z are circulating everywhere, plastered with captions screaming that the resemblance is undeniable. The jawline, the nose, even the little smirks that echo Jay-Z's old pictures. Fans are zooming in and breaking it down frame by frame. Some swear it's proof, others say it's just coincidence, but the debate has exploded into a viral storm. For Beyonce, who lives in a world where every photo is calculated and every image is protected like treasure, this is nightmare fuel. Having her husband's face mirrored in her best friend's child is a narrative she can't spin, can't delete, and can't silence, and it's spiraling way beyond her control. People are now pulling out the receipts, and one of the biggest is Kelly Rowland's 2013 track Dirty Laundry. Back then, it was praised as a raw, emotional confession about abuse and personal struggles. But fans are suddenly re-listening with brand new ears. They're combing through the lyrics like detectives, claiming the song was filled with hidden clues about a messy love triangle. Lines about betrayal, manipulation, and secrets tucked in plain sight are being rebranded as coded messages. Could Kelly have been spilling her pain in song form, disguising real heartbreak as metaphors? Did we all miss the red flags because the truth seemed way too wild to even imagine? Insiders say artists often lace real life into their work. And in hindsight, Dirty Laundry is looking less like metaphor and more like a breadcrumb trail left for the world to decode years later. But that's not all. The money rumors are making things even hotter. Whispers claim Jay-Z has been quietly funneling payments to Kelly's family since 2014, the exact year Titan was born. Now fans are questioning, were these generous Godfather gifts or straight-up hush funds to keep a scandal buried?
More genius.
Beyonce.
Gorgeous. A stab to my self-esteem.
The timing is suspicious, the amounts reportedly significant, and the questions endless. If Jay-Z was cutting those checks, how much did Beyonce know? Was she turning a blind eye to protect her empire? Or was this betrayal happening right under her flawless nose without her even realizing it? This is the part that has the internet losing its mind. For almost a decade, The idea of Queen Bee, the most controlled, unshakable figure in music, being blindsided inside her own home felt impossible. Yet that's exactly why this rumor is shaking people to the core. It taps into the fear that no matter how powerful you are, betrayal can still come from the people closest to you. And let's be real, this doesn't exist in a vacuum. Jay-Z's history is full of messy entanglements and unfinished scandals. He's openly admitted to cheating before, even turning his own shame into lyrics, while Beyonce used her albums as both confession and survival guides. Their whole marital saga was repackaged as art, a story of pain, forgiveness, and rebuilding. But if Titan is really his child, that entire narrative flips upside down. Suddenly, it's not about redemption or growth, but a decade-long deception, not just against Beyonce, but against the one person she's always called her sister. That takes betrayal to a level even music can't heal. And the question that's ripping through every conversation is brutal. How does Beyonce recover from this kind of blow?
I want to ask you about Jay-Z's album.
I think it's genius. Like all of his projects, I thought it was really great.
Because this isn't just about a marriage anymore, it's about sisterhood, loyalty, and the empire she's fought her whole life to protect. We're talking about the possible collapse of Destiny's Child's legacy. A sisterhood once seen as unshakable, built on loyalty and unity. Fans who grew up idolizing their bond are suddenly questioning everything. Were those glowing smiles and sisterly hugs on stage actually masking unbearable secrets? Old interviews with Kelly are being dug back up too, and the internet is connecting dots in ways that feel chilling. Remember that dinner years ago when Kelly reportedly left the table with Beyonce and Jay-Z in tears, offering no explanation? Back then, fans assumed it was just overwhelming nostalgia or emotions from their bond. But now, it's being rebranded as a possible crack in the perfect facade. A moment where the burden of secrets simply got too heavy for Kelly to hide, and every little interaction is under a microscope. From red carpet encounters to awkward run-ins, like the infamous premiere where Jay-Z's stunned reaction to bumping into Kelly went viral. People are asking, did that look really show brother-sister warmth, or was it the raw, awkward shock of facing someone tied to a truth he spent years burying? And then, the cruel irony. Just months ago, Kelly was publicly praising Jay-Z after he blasted the Grammys for snubbing Beyonce. She told reporters, "Sean Carter is one of the greatest men I know, and his words ring so loud to me." But today, that quote is being replayed with an eerie undertone. Was she genuinely speaking as a loyal friend, or was she defending him to protect a secret that could destroy everything? Blissfully unaware that her glowing praise for Jay-Z would later echo back in the middle of a scandal she never signed up for, Kelly's words now sound like evidence in a case fans are desperate to solve. The internet doesn't let coincidences slide. That single quote has been turned into yet another piece of the puzzle, fueling theories about how deep these bonds and betrayals may really run. And here's the haunting question shaking everyone. If Jay-Z really has been funneling secret payments since Titan's birth, did Beyonce know? Has she been silently enduring this storm for years to protect her brand, her children, her empire? Or is she only discovering the whispers and leaked documents right alongside the rest of us? Either way, the picture is devastating. If she knew, then Beyonce has been living a performance more complex than any tour choreography, pulling off the illusion of perfection while privately carrying the weight of betrayal. But if she didn't, then the woman who preached control, precision, and power has been blindsided in the rawest, most humiliating way imaginable. And the silence from every side only makes it worse. The lack of statements, the lack of denials, it's thickening the tension to the point of suffocation. What happens to the legacy of Destiny's Child if this rumor refuses to die down? Their entire image as sisters standing strong against the world is already splintering under the weight of speculation. Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle built an empire on friendship and loyalty, a bond fans thought could outlast any solo career, chart battle, or industry shakeup. But if Jay-Z is tied to Titan, the nostalgia can never be the same. That iconic sisterhood suddenly looks like a storybook cover hiding a darker truth behind the pages. And for Beyonce, the reigning queen of modern pop royalty, this is bigger than music. It's about legacy, loyalty, marriage, motherhood, and whether her empire is strong enough to survive secrets that feel way too heavy to ever stay buried. And when we zoom out from the chaos around Titan's rumored paternity, a darker pattern starts to take shape. one fans and critics are suddenly revisiting with brand new eyes. Because let's be real, Jay-Z has never been a stranger to whispers about secret kids and hidden affairs. Long before Titan's name ever came up, there was the saga of Ramir, a young man who fought for years in court claiming Jay-Z was his biological father.
I don't have no felonies, I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
The case dragged on with appeals, delays, and accusations that Jay-Z used legal muscle and financial power to dodge accountability. Back then, most people wrote it off as opportunism. But now, with Titan at the center of headlines, those old claims are resurfacing and being stitched into a much bigger, more damning narrative. The picture fans are painting is this: Jay-Z's empire wasn't just built on music genius and business hustle, but also on his ability to bury scandals before they could grow roots. And once you look at it that way, suddenly a lot of his past starts to feel different. This isn't the only cloud following him either. Allegations about his relationships in the late 90s and early 2000s, especially the controversial rumors linking him to younger women in the industry, are being dragged back into the spotlight. Nas even fanned the flames in his infamous diss track, dropping lines that implied Jay-Z crossed boundaries with protégés like Foxy Brown. She has denied it multiple times, dismissing the rumors as fake. But the whispers never completely died. Now fans are pointing out how Jay-Z was already pushing 30 while appearing alongside teenage artists, and how the blurred line between mentor and something more feels downright unsettling when viewed next to the Titan drama. And the question hanging in the air is heavy. Are we witnessing isolated scandals, or a long-running pattern of control, secrecy, and manipulation that the industry looked the other way on, just because Jay-Z's power was too untouchable to challenge? We can't overlook the fact that Jay-Z's trust with the public has already been fractured before. His own music laid out confessions of infidelity, moments where he admitted he nearly lost Beyonce. That saga, told through Lemonade and 444, was sold to us as a story of redemption, a broken man facing his sins and a strong woman choosing forgiveness. But now, that redemption arc is looking paper thin, because if Titan is really his son, then it was never about redemption at all. It was about concealment. What fans are piecing together is unsettling. Jay-Z's pattern doesn't look like growth, it looks like mastery in hiding scandals until they fade from the headlines. And with every rumor resurfacing, every old whisper dragged back into the light, the cracks in his king-like image grow wider and deeper, and that leads us straight to Beyonce's family. Because when silence is this loud, it usually means someone's working overtime to hold the pieces together. Tina Knowles has always been framed as the matriarch, not just for Beyonce, but for Destiny's Child as a whole. She's called Kelly her daughter, written glowing tributes, and positioned herself as the glue that held this surrogate family together. But now, in the shadow of the Titan scandal, fans are re-examining her role with suspicion. Could Tina have known more than she ever let on? Did her instinct to protect Beyonce's empire push her to shield Jay-Z from scrutiny, and in the process, pressure Kelly into silence? It wouldn't be the first time a powerful matriarch orchestrated damage control behind the scenes. Suddenly, every glossy family portrait, every heartfelt caption, every warm tribute carries a darker undertone, the possibility of a cover-up. And the chilling question is this: has Tina been the quiet architect of the Carter Knowles image all along, not just managing Beyonce's career, but also burying the inconvenient truths that could shatter it all? We've seen Tina ride hard for Beyonce, clapping back at critics, showering Jay-Z with praise, and always presenting a united front. For years, that loyalty was seen as pure love. But now people are rereading it as calculated strategy. Think about it. If Tina knew the truth about Titan, keeping the family brand spotless would mean silence at all costs. And for Beyonce, that's a nightmare layered with betrayal, not just by her husband, but by her own mother's possible complicity. That twist takes it from being a messy marital scandal to a generational one, painting the Carter Knowles dynasty as a family empire built on guarding a truth too explosive for the world to handle. And the plot thickens when you bring up Jay-Z's circle. His long-time association with controversial figures like Sean Diddy Combs is under renewed scrutiny, especially with all the lawsuits storming around Diddy. Fans can't help but notice the pattern. Every time Diddy faces fresh allegations, Jay-Z's name somehow hovers around the edges. Sometimes it pops up in filings, other times it mysteriously vanishes just as quickly. It leaves people asking, how does Jay-Z always manage to stand at the periphery of chaos without ever being dragged into the fire? Whether it's quick legal maneuvering, elite connections, or just raw influence, the result is always the same. His name comes out clean, his empire untouched, and the whispers move on. But the Titan rumor? That one refuses to die, and it's forcing fans to start connecting dots across decades of stories once thought unrelated. And again.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
So now the question is bigger than, is Titan his child? It's morphing into, has Jay-Z built his career and image on a blueprint of dodging consequences again and again? Meanwhile, Beyonce's silence only adds to the intrigue. She doesn't give messy interviews, doesn't hop online with emotional rants, doesn't explain herself to tabloids. Instead, she pours it into her music, loading her albums with coded confessions that fans spend months dissecting. Lemonade was her way of addressing infidelity without ever saying Jay-Z's name in public. Proof that silence, for her, has always been the deadliest weapon of all. Which brings us to the burning question. Will Beyonce finally break her silence and address Titan in her next project? Or will she double down and refuse to give this scandal even a single word? The world is watching her every move, waiting to see if her upcoming films, music, or even red carpet appearances are laced with hidden messages about betrayal, motherhood, or broken sisterhood. If history tells us anything, Beyonce won't grab a mic and pour her heart out in an interview. That's not her style. Instead, she'll drip-feed symbolism, leaving fans to decode the scars between the lines. And this time, the stakes couldn't be higher. Her entire legacy isn't just about music, it's about image. She's built herself as the flawless queen, the woman who endured betrayal and rose above it, the sister who lifted Kelly and Michelle alongside her. But if Titan really is Jay-Z's son, that mythology cracks wide open. Suddenly, she's not the woman in control. She's the woman betrayed. Betrayed by her husband, betrayed by her best friend, and possibly even betrayed by her own mother. And for an empire that's been marketed as perfect, the illusion of perfection may prove harder to repair than the marriage itself. Fans are already convinced that if Beyonce does respond, it'll be seismic. Picture it, a visual album dripping in symbolism, a cryptic lyric slipped into a world tour, or a sudden shift in her alignment with Jay-Z. Remember, Lemonade wasn't just music. It became a cultural earthquake. It gave us catchphrases, memes, and inspired millions of women to re-examine their own relationships. Now imagine the cultural impact if she unleashed something similar, but this time about betrayal inside her own family circle. The explosion would be unmatched, shaking not only the music industry, but the very idea of celebrity loyalty and image management itself. Right now, we're left with a storm of speculation, endless questions, and an empire wobbling on its throne. If Titan's paternity really ties back to Jay-Z, then the Carter-Knowles dynasty is staring down its greatest test yet. Can Beyonce forgive a betrayal this layered? Can Destiny's Child ever be remembered the same way again? And maybe the most haunting question of all, how long has this secret been hiding in plain sight? And who in their inner circle helped bury it? So, I'll leave it to you. Do you think this is the scandal that finally cracks Beyonce's empire wide open? Or just another rumor that gets drowned out by her silence and spectacle? Drop your thoughts below. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Because trust me, this story is nowhere near finished. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the biggest secrets are the ones hiding right in front of us.